Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. Finally, as expected, Chebukati has declared William Ruto the winner. And earlier, before Chebukati made that declaration, we saw 4 commissioners distancing themselves from that kind of a declaration. So it technically means 4 commissioners against 3 commissioners. An issue I know will most likely be deliberated at the Supreme Court. In this video, I want to make some quick observations I made out of this year's presidential elections. In case you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes. The first observation I did realize out of this presidential election that the deep state is not only the president. Deep state encompasses all government structures, executive, judiciary, and also the legislature. And I'm saying that because if you look at what has happened, it's very clear we are where we are because as the new team, they lacked the numbers to impeach William Ruto in parliament. And because they lacked those numbers, William Ruto continued serving as the deputy president of Kenya, enjoying all the largesse that comes with the government and also with the intelligence from that same government. And that gave William Ruto an upper hand into getting some confidential information from that same government. So I came to realize that deep state is not just the presidency. And again, if you look at the judiciary, a day before the election, the High Court made it very clear, or rather it was a 3-judge bench of the Court of Appeal, actually made a ruling that thwarted, it was seen as thwarting the electronic manual register, voting through manual register. And that demoralized a good number of Kenyans who were supporting Azimio. Some might have lost hope just as a result of that. And that indeed actually encouraged William Ruto supporters into voting for him, at the same time discouraging Azimio supporters. And then on the issue of the executive again, I'm tempted to make a conclusion that most likely William Ruto had compromised some government machineries. And these machineries definitely were not listening maybe to the president. They were listening to William Ruto. And that's why we saw yesterday Raila's lead agents, the likes of Orengo, the Laikipia governor, being blocked at the gate of Bomas. An indication that some government machineries might have been compromised by William Ruto. And that the reason for that is that William Ruto was still serving as the deputy president of Kenya. So some of these government machineries might have feared or respected William Ruto on the virtue that he was still a serving deputy president. In the event he could have been impeached, then I know that could have created a split between William Ruto and the deep state. Now that the Azimio team never impeached William Ruto continued till the last minute to enjoy government privileges and largesse. Another observation I've made, Kenya is divided into 2. It seems there are some Kenyans who, the dirtier you are, or the more your reputation or image is tainted or questionable, you become more attractive to them. The cleaner you are, the more repulsive they look at you. And I'm saying that because if you look at William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua, it's clear that in this year's election, we had 2 distinct camps. A Raila Martha Karua camp that was seen as leadership of integrity and credibility. We had Rigathi William Ruto. leadership that was being seen as tainted with lots of corruption. But with all that, some Kenyans saw it fit to vote for that ticket. An indication that in Kenya, integrity is not an issue in our election. So maybe future leaders, all those who want maybe leadership positions, you must know exactly where you are. Are you seeking an elective position amongst that kind of a population who don't believe in integrity, or are you seeking leadership in that section of Kenyans who believes in integrity? That also came out clearly, and I did see in clear terms that Kenyans are divided into two camps. We have those who believe in leadership of credibility and integrity, and those who do not believe in that. That also came out very clearly. And from what also we saw from the campaigns, it has been finally proved that indeed Wafula Chebukati and William Ruto were reading from the same page. That has been proved beyond any reasonable doubt. And that is so because if you look at Wafula Chebukati, when he was making the announcement, he was just alone. All the commissioners actually abandoned him. An indication that maybe behind the scenes, Wafula Chebukati had made a vow, a declaration that whatever happens, he will declare William Ruto as the president of Kenya. And also, just as I did mention when we were starting, the issue of the four commissioners, they actually raised some kind of opaqueness as to what might have happened during this year's election. And I do know and I believe that that alone puts the credibility of this election into jeopardy, in that the election is now seen as an election that has been rigged. And the mere fact that the commissioners themselves have made that kind of a declaration, I'm seeing as a most likely situation where if the commissioners can be used as maybe witnesses in the Supreme Court, then I think and I believe this election might just be nullified again. And also to Raila Amolo Odinga, the mere fact that Raila has been contesting and losing does not mean that his election, or rather his victory, can just be snatched away from him. Raila should not accept this verdict. Raila should move to the Supreme Court. This was clear rigging. This is theft. Theft in broad daylight. So Raila should have the courage to go to the Supreme Court to make sure he fights for what is right. This is injustice. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, even before I conclude, I've seen Kenyans celebrating, and from where I stay, I've seen a pocket of some people celebrating. And it's very clear that this election is being celebrated by only a specific people in the country. Only a select population are the ones celebrating this win. A good majority of Kenyans are not happy. They are not celebrating. So it's incumbent upon the incoming government to actually make sure, or rather it's up to Kenyans, maybe it's time we have a discussion. Can we continue with this aspect of only two communities just rotating power between themselves? That's a question that Kenyans must now and should now ask. Because from the look of things, upon William Ruto assuming exiting the political stage, most likely William Ruto will be succeeded by a candidate from the mountain. That's something coming out clearly. So it's high time Kenyans have that serious discussion. Do we want to continue on that trajectory where power at the top is just being rotated between two communities? That's a honest and a discussion Kenyans should have. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop it there. But just as I did indicate when I was starting, in case you're watching us for the very first time, but so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you, God bless Kenya. And to any other person, that's the kind of analysis we do here. We don't beat about the bush. We go straight on to the point. We call it as it is without fear or favor. God bless you, God bless Kenya.